Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a fantastic day. In this episode of the Music Den, I'm going to be doing a segment called Live Album Spotlight, Double Feature. And the reason why I call it double feature will become obvious in a few minutes. Last May, an album was released from a very infamous band. This was a live performance that this band had undertaken in Toronto in March of 1977. And this album has been made available via bootleg for years. But this is the first time that this album has been made available officially via double CD and triple vinyl formats. But in trying to put this segment together, I realized that there was another band on the bill that night that deserves equal mention, along with the headliner. And that is the reason for this episode. The bands in question, the headliner being April Wine, and the headliner being the Rolling Stones. The albums that we're about to talk about are Live at the Elmocambo, 1977. Now, for those of you who don't know, April Wine are a Canadian rock band formed in 1969 from Nova Scotia, releasing their debut self-titled album in 1971. They had a string of albums in the 70s into the 80s. They slowed down a little bit in the 90s. I was actually very privileged to see April Wine as a double headliner with Def Leppard in 1993. They kicked ass. Ugly Kid Joe opened the show. They weren't that great. Anyways, I digress. The Rolling Stones were in Toronto at the time, and they were looking for a small venue to do a surprise gig at. And they picked the Elmocambo Tavern, which is located on College and Spadina in Toronto. The Elmocambo is a small venue, 300 people capacity. The venue was picked. The supporting act was picked. They tried to keep the performance a secret. Didn't work out that way. What I can tell you about these two performances is that they are spectacular. Okay. The April Wine album was produced by none other than Eddie Kramer, who had worked with Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Kiss, among others. The sound on this album is just phenomenal. First of all, I will go through with you who was in the band at that point. You had Miles Goodwin on lead vocals and guitars, Gary Moffat on guitars and backing vocals, Steve Lang on bass and backing vocals. He provides lead vocals on one track, and Jerry Mercer on drums and backing vocals. Now, April Wine at that point in the 70s, on the Canadian music scene, you could not get a band aside from Rush that was that white hot in terms of popularity in Canada. And it's got to be said, Canadian bands, in terms of going into the US and becoming popular, it was quite difficult to do so. I dare to say that, you had groups like the Guess Who, you had Rush, and I would put April Wine right up there in terms of popularity and in terms of a melodic rock band. There were no other ones. I mean, April Wine were it at that point. And this album that came out, the vinyl had 9 tracks. The CD had 11 cuts. The set lasted for about 45 minutes, but what a set. I mean, I'll go through the track listing with you. You had Teenage Love that starts off the show. Fantastic. Tonight is a Wonderful Night to Fall in Love. Beautiful track. Quick note for me, there are songs that when I hear them, I'm always transported back to a certain place and time. And, you know, like with Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm 5 years old again, sitting on my sister Anna's lap, watching American Bandstand and seeing the video for the first time. When I hear Tonight is a Wonderful Night to Fall in Love, I'm like transported back to that era, like 77, sitting on the veranda on a summer night with the windows open in the living room, with the stereo blasting and the music coming out through the window, and you just hear it on the night air. Just a beautiful track. What comes next on the album? Juvenile Delinquent. Catchy chorus, just amazing. Don't Push Me Around and side one. Side two, you have Ooh, What a Night, featuring Steve Lang on lead vocals. Drop Your Guns, fantastic. Slow Poker, Slow Poke, sorry. You know, forgive the slip up. Slow Poke, which it's like a blues track. I'm not going to go into what it's about. It's a family show. The beautiful melodic She's No Angel, just amazing. The lush, gorgeous You Won't Dance With Me, amazing. Amazing. It has a 1950s kind of doo-wop arrangement to it. Give Me Love comes next, and the set ends with You Could Have Been a Lady. A blistering short set, but impactful. Amazing. Amazing. And the production on this disc, again produced by Eddie Kramer, is just phenomenal. You know, continuing on. That was only the first part. Second part, the Rolling Stones come out, and you know, what's to be said? What can be said about the Rolling Stones? Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, Ron Wood, right? And supporting them in these two shows were Billy Preston on keyboards, Ollie Brown on percussion, and Ian Stewart on piano. Okay. Amazing. This album, it feels like you're sitting in front of them. You can feel the sweat coming off of Jagger and Richards and the rest. Just beautiful. Starts off with Honky Tonk Woman. All down the line. Great start. Hand of Fate, you know, first of many covers, sorry. Route 66, Fool to Cry, Crazy Mama, Manish Boy, another cover here, Cracking Up, which it's done in almost like a Caribbean kind of arrangement, that's sort of like island, you know, Caribbean island kind of a feel, you know, like very sort of relaxed and playful. Beautiful. Dance Slow Sister, Around and Around, another cover. Tumbling Dice, sorry. That's disc one, okay? That's just disc one, for God's sake. Disc two starts off with Hot Stuff from Black and Blue. Star Star from Goat's Head Soup. Let's Spend the Night Together. Little Red Rooster, another cover. It's only rock and roll, but I like it. Rip This Joint. And when they do rip this joint, they rip this joint apart. I mean, it's just phenomenal. It is fast-paced. It is energetic, over the top, and you literally feel or hear that Mick Jagger is ripping his throat apart by singing this. Brown Sugar is next. Jumping Jack Flash. Okay? Comes after that. And there are three cuts that I do not believe were properly recorded in the studio. One that was recorded later. They are Melody, Luxury, and Worried About You. Worried About You would then turn up, I believe, in a different form on their Tattoo You album and from 1981. Phenomenal album too. Now, again, what makes these two albums sought after is the fact that it's a snapshot in time. It's a time capsule of two important shows. Okay. Everybody's talking about, concerts these days and how you have to be big and over the top and you have to have these mammoth light shows. The light shows do help. Okay. But you got to wonder. I mean, I've just saw Pink last week in Toronto. If you want to talk about a performer that can perform and sing, Pink is the real deal. But she, unfortunately, is an anomaly. There are not many performers that can do that. But compared to what you hear on both Live with the Elmocambo CDs, there's nothing like it. It's a very intimate, close experience that cannot be matched. Literally, both performances, you feel like you're sitting right in front of them, in front of the acts as they're doing their thing. And I'm telling you, it is mind-blowing of how good they are. Okay? It's amazing. It's amazing. If you can get your hands on these two albums, please do. They are both available on Amazon. The April Wine album runs for about $21.99, and the infamous Rolling Stones Elmocambo 77 runs for about $34 and change for the CD version. The LP version goes for like $119. I'd get the CD if I were you. But listen, please take some time. Listen to these two albums. You will be forever grateful that you did, because if you like catchy melodic rock from April Wine, that is your ticket. If you like Stones at their slinkiest, dirty, how can I put this? In your face, best, sorry for the bad verbiage, then Elmocambo 77 is for you. So please do not hesitate. I implore you, check this out. Both albums, you will not be disappointed. I swear. So please, once you've listened to these albums, and if you've never heard of April Wine before, I'd be surprised if you hadn't. If you hadn't heard of April Wine before, you are in for a pleasant surprise. You're in for the shock of your life. And again, what's to be said about the Rolling Stones that hasn't already been said on many other channels? It is a good recording. It is a necessary addition to your collection. So please listen to them. And down there, down below, down there, let me know what you think of both of these albums. All right. I will be doing another episode in about an hour's time with Bill Schuster on Steely Dan ranking the albums. And I'm going to be doing another episode with Peter Kent from the Lizard King channel on Kiss Harder Than Hell. We're going to be having a discussion on that. Please check out both episodes and check out Peter Kent's channel, the Lizard King channel, for his content. He has fantastic content. So please, again, click like and subscribe and let me know what you think of both these albums. And hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content that I do have coming up. I will see you very soon. Bye for now.